Hey Talking fam, I am back. We are ready for another Talking podcast video. I changed the name if you guys haven't saw it. I am starting to post back here on the originally called Talking Sports. It is now called Talking Podcast because I am talking about anything on this channel now. Anything I want at any time. It might be mostly sports, but we'll just have to wait and see. Remember, I also have another channel called Talking St. Louis. That channel is everything sports related about St. Louis. I'm posting St. Louis Battlehawks, St. Louis Cardinals, St. Louis Blues, St. Louis City SC content on that channel, and maybe even some St. Louis Billikens and Mizzou Tiger content as well. Now, I might be making a separate channel called Talking Mizzou later on. We'll wait and see about that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started into today's video, which is the NBA Draft Round Number 1 highlights. Well, should I say, every single pick in round 1 of the NBA Draft and the recap of each pick. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we have Victor Wembanyama getting taken by number 1 overall by the San Antonio Spurs. This was not a surprise at all to any of us. We knew he was going to get taken first overall. He is taken from the French League, the Metropolitans 92. So he is age 19, 7'4", 237 pounds. He started his pro career at Nanterre 92 in 2019, where he went on to play for Asvel in 2021, and then, of course, on to the Metropolitans 92. He was a Pro A champion last year, the most valuable player, the best scorer, the best defender, the first team. He made the All-Star Game MVP. He was a 2-time All-Star, and he was the best young player from 2021 through 2023. He represented the FIBA Under 19 World Cup and the FIBA Under 16 European Championship in 2019. So anyway, this guy did honestly pretty good in his for Asvel in 2021-2022. He played in 13 games, started in 10 of those 13, he averaged 6.5 points per game, with 1.9 blocks per game, 0.4 shots per game, 0.4 steals per game, 0.5 assists per game, with a 667 free throw percentage, 303 3-point percentage, and a 348 field goal percentage. That was 2 years ago, so there is no stats. There is no stats from his year at 92. But yeah, so overall he is compared to Rudy Gobert on defense and has shooting potential comparable to Kristaps Porzingis, but with better handling and passing skills. He models part of his games after Kevin Durant and Giannis. So overall, he has drawn comparisons as well to Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So those are the two legends he's being compared to as well. They are saying he will be the next LeBron James. All right, so that is Victor Wembanyama. Now that will bring up the second overall player, which is Brandon Miller out of the University of Alabama to the Charlotte Hornets. He is a shooting forward / shooting guard. He is a freshman, so he is going to be in the 19 age range. He is age 20. He's 6'9", 200 pounds, out of Anto, Tennessee. Went to Alabama and is now the second overall pick. So he is a consistent second-team All-American last year. He was the NABC Freshman of the Year, the SEC Player of the Year, the SEC Rookie of the Year, First Team All-SEC, the SEC Tournament MVP, an All-American in high school, and was the Tennessee Mr. Basketball. So now his career statistics with Alabama, he only played 1 year, which was his freshman year. He played 37 total games. He started all of them. He averaged 32 minutes per game. His field goal percentage was .430. His three-point percentage, .384. Free throw percentage, .859. He averaged 8.2 rebounds per game, 2.1 assists per game, .9 steals per game, .9 blocks per game, and averaged 18.8 points per game. His dad, Daryl Miller, played college football at Alabama as a tight end, and then his older brother, Daryl Jr., played college basketball at Fisk University. His older sister plays at Cumberland. So there was a firearm incident, but I'm not going to get too far deep into that. He brought a firearm to a teammate that was used in a fatal shooting of a 23-year-old earlier that year. So overall, that's what happened. He was cleared and, of course, drafted second overall now. So 37 games, I think that's pretty good, averaging 18.8 points per game as a freshman in the SEC, one of the hardest conferences in college. So overall, there we go, good pick by the Spurs. So he was a 5-star recruit. His first scholarship was from Tennessee State. Alright, so now we are moving on to the third overall pick. So the second overall pick was a down to Scoot Henderson and Brandon Miller. Now, of course, the Hornets picked up Brandon Miller, and that will bring up Scoot Henderson, who dropped down to the Trailblazers, who were surprised, but ended up drafting him to pair with Dame Lillard. So he is 6'2", 195 pounds, and is a point guard. He played for the G League and Knight for 2 years. He is 19. Okay, so he was born in Georgia. His father is a coach and trainer. He is the second youngest of 7 siblings, including 3 sisters who played for NCAA Division I basketball, and was named Scoot or Scoota because how he would scoot across the floor as a baby. Alright, so he played college in Marietta, Georgia. His professional career. So he signed a 2-year, $1 million deal with the G League in 2021, a team affiliated with the G League that began in the previous year. He was sidelined to start the year with a rib injury and made his debut with 8 points and 6 rebounds in a win versus the South Bay Lakers. At age 17, he became the youngest player in G League history. So his second game, he recorded a career-high 31 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in a loss to the Warriors. But he was one of the 4 Ignite players to compete in the Rising Stars Challenge at the All-Star Weekend, scoring 2 points for Team Payton in a 50-48 loss. So in the 2021 season, he played 11 games in the G League Showcase Cup and 10 exhibition games and averaged 14.3 points per game. He represented the Ignite in a pair of exhibition games versus Wembanyama and the Metropolitans in 92. In his first game, he recorded 28 points and a win. October 6th, he left the second game after suffering a bone bruise during the first quarter. His team lost that game. He posted 18 points in November 12th in a victory over the Warriors. 4 days later, he recorded a season-high 27 points and a win versus the Oklahoma City Blue, but he suffered a nasal fracture and concussion and missed 11 games before returning on December 27th. He scored 27 points in a win over the Ciudad de Mexico, but then in February he was named captain of Team Scoot in the inaugural G League Next Up game. He played for Team Terry in the Rising Stars Challenge, scoring 4 points, and he lost to Team Hakeem. But on March 14th, it was announced that he would not play in the final 5 games of the year. He averaged 17.6 points per game, 6.4 assists, and 5.1 rebounds, with 1.2 steals as well. So overall, I think this guy did a really great job in the G League. His final statistics in the G League, he played in 10 games. He only started 4 of them, which he had a total of a 460 field goal percentage, a 250 3-point percentage, with a 77.8 free throw percentage, scoring 14.7 points per game. in his G League career. He signed a multi-year endorsement on June 15th with Puma. He applied for trademarks on his name and motto, only overly determined to dominate. So, yeah, so a pretty good player here, taken now. All right, we are going to move on. All right, so next up we have the Houston Rockets on the clock. 4th overall pick in the draft. They will take Amen Thompson from the City Reapers Overtime Elite. So this guy is 20 years old, 6'7", 225 pounds, out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He, in his professional career, he played for Team OTE in 2021, 2022, and then played for the City Reapers in 2022, 2023. So he was the OTE champion and the OTE first team in 2023. He moved to Lauderdale, Florida at the end so that he and Osor could play high school basketball 1 year early. The twins immediately started for the team. As a sophomore, Thompson averaged 16.9 points, earning all-county honorable mention. Entering his junior year, he was named to the Broward County Fab Five. He averaged 20.5 points as a junior, leading his team to the Class 4A state championship and a 90-83 double overtime win. In the title game, he scored 43 points and helped Pinecrest overcome a 8-point deficit. He shared Broward County Class 5A 1A Co-Player of the Year honors with Osor. So he was a 5-star recruit by ESPN and a 4-star recruit by Rivals. He gained interest from college programs in 2019, receiving a scholarship offer from Alabama. So he held offers from Alabama, Arizona, Auburn, Arizona State, and Kansas, among other programs. Alright, so he decided to sign a 2-year contract with Overtime Elite and a professional league based in Atlanta with players between ages 16 and 20. He joined the league with his brother, passing his final year of high school and college because it felt like it would prepare him best for the NBA. He played for Team OTE, one of 3 teams in the league, and averaged 14 points per game. He competed against other OTE teams as well as prep school and postgraduate opponents. He helped his team achieve a runner-up finish, scoring 13 points to Team Elite in the decisive 3rd game of the finals. Thompson played for OTE affiliate Team Overtime in the basketball tournament in July 2022. His team lost to the Omaha Blue Crew 74-70 in the first round of the tournament. So then he decided to play for the City Reapers of the 2022 OTE season alongside team captain Osur, who selected him with the first pick in the league's draft. He was named OTE Player of the Week 3 days after recording 22 points, 10 rebounds, in a 101-90 win over the Cold Hearts. In the regular season, Thompson averaged 16.4 points per game and was named to the All-OTE first team. In Game 2 of the finals, he made a game-winning layup at the buzzer in an 80-78 win over the YNG Dreamers. He helped the Reapers win the league championship in a 3-0 sweep. He declared for the draft, and they viewed him as a potential top 10 pick. Alright, so there you go. Amen Thompson, one of the best players in this draft. I think he deserves to be in it. And yeah, so he did pretty good. He played for 2 teams, it looks like, in the OTE league. 2-year deal, I think. You have to play all 2 years before you go to the draft. But yeah, anyway, he did pretty good. He went 1 for 2 in the finals. And yeah, so overall, great pick by the Rockets. All right, moving on to the 5th pick. The Detroit Pistons were on the clock. They took his brother, All-Star Thompson, a shooting guard / shooting forward from the City Reapers Overtime Elite. Just like his brother, he came from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And he played for the City Reapers from 2022-23 and Team Elite 21 to 2022. He was 2-time OTE champion, 2-time OTE Finals MVP, and the most valuable player in 2023 and made the first team. Alright, so in his high school career, he averaged 17.3 points per game, earning 2nd team All-County honors. Entering his junior year, he was named to the Broward County Fab Five. He has averaged 22.6 points per game, helping his team win the Class A 4A championship. He shared the Co-Player of the Year with Amon. So recruiting, he gained interest from college programs from Alabama, Arizona, Auburn, Arizona State, and Kansas before deciding not to play college basketball. So he signed a 2-year deal with OTE just like his brother did. In 2021, he played for Team Elite, one of the 3 teams in the league. He averaged 14.7 points per game. He led the team to the league championship. It was named Finals MVP after recording 20 points and 11 rebounds in a win over Team OTE in the decisive 3rd game of the finals. He played for the OTE Team Overtime affiliate in the basketball tournament. His team lost to the Omaha Blue Crew in the first round. So he was named captain of the City Reapers and played alongside Amon. On December 12th, he earned League Player of the Week honors and was selected as Player of the Week for the 2nd time after posting a league single-game record, 12 assists with 17 points and 8 rebounds in 21 minutes against the Holy Rams. At the end of the season, he was named OTE MVP and made the OTE first team with averages of 16.3 points, 7.1 rebounds, 6.1 assists, and 2.4 steals per game. He led the Raptors to the league title in a 3-0 sweep of the YNG Dreamers, repeating as final MVP. He made a game-winning three-pointer with 3 seconds left in the final game. He did fair for the draft and was viewed him as a potential top 10 pick, just like his brother did. So yeah, he selected 5th overall in the draft. So overall, a good pick. You got his brother on the Rockets, and you're on the Pistons. Great job. All right, next up, 6th overall pick, the Orlando Magic, Anthony Black, going from Arkansas. He was also just a freshman, only 1 year of college basketball. He's age 19, 6'7", 210 pounds. He was the McDonald's All-American in Nike Hoop Summit in 2022 as a high schooler. Now, he was named a 5-star recruit and committed to play college basketball to Arkansas after considering offers from Gonzaga, Oklahoma State, and TCU. He also considered playing in the G League. So he was a 5-star recruit. He entered the freshman year at Arkansas. He averaged 22 points per game in 3 games during the 2022 Maui Invitational Tournament and was named SEC Freshman of the Week. He was named to the all-freshman team at the end of the season, averaging 12.8 points, 5.1 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and 2.1 steals per game. At the end of the year, he decided to forego the remainder of his college eligibility and enter the draft. So he played for the United States under-18 basketball team at the FIBA Under-18 Americans Championship. He averaged 4.7 points per game, helping his team win the gold medal. So in his career at Arkansas, he played in 36 total games, 34 minutes per game, 453 field goal percentage, 301 three-point percentage, 705 free throw percentage, averaging 12.8 points per game. So overall, a really good job by Anthony Black, getting taken 6th overall by the Orlando Magic. They definitely need help. He is definitely more of a passer than a scorer, which will help with Paolo Banchero to pair him with from Duke. All right, next up we have Vilo Coulibaly from the Metropolitans 92. This was traded to Washington, so this was drafted by the Pacers, but he will be playing for the Washington Wizards. So Coulibaly, let's see what he did in France. He is age 18, so he's one of the youngest players now in the league. He's 6'8". So he began playing professionally for the Metropolis 92 of the French Under-21 League. So he began the season playing for the Metropolis Under-21 team. He was promoted to the senior team after averaging 21 points, 2.6 steals, 1.2 blocks per game in their competition. He submitted paperwork to enter the NBA draft. Now, he played for the France national under-8 team in the FIBA U18 European Championship. He did average 7.7 points and 1 assist over 7 games as France finished in 5th place. So, no stats are on here for him, but he ended up, grew up in Courbevoie, France. He played for the Sport Basket at age 8 and then began playing for the youth team of the Sporting Club Basket in 2017. So overall, I think this is a good pick. He's pretty young, so I feel like he could be playing another year in France, but the Wizards would still retain the eligibility of him whenever he goes to the NBA. But I feel like he could play one more year in France. We'll just have to wait and see. He has taken 7th overall. So here is the Wizards pick, but traded to Indiana. This guy, Jarace Walker, he was just a freshman from Houston. So Houston, he is age 19, he's 6'8", 240 pounds, grew up in Pennsylvania, then transferred to IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. So he is the 8th overall pick. He was the AAC Freshman of the Year, second team All-AAC, and then was AAC All-Freshman team. Now, in high school, he was a McDonald's All-American and went to the Nike Hoop Summit. So he attended Susquehannock High School in York County, Pennsylvania for his freshman year before transferring to IMG Academy. As a senior, he averaged 16.7 points per game, 8.2 rebounds, and 4 assists. He was selected to play in the 2022 McDonald's All-American game. He was a 5-star recruit and one of the top players in the 2022 class. He committed to playing college basketball for Houston over offers from Alabama and Auburn. His stats in college at Houston, he played in 36 games, starting in 35 of those 36. He averaged 27 minutes per game, had a .465 field goal percentage, .347 three-point percentage. His free throw percentage was low at only .63. His rebounds, 6.8 rebounds per game, 1 point assists per game, 1 steal per game, 1.3 blocks per game, and just averaging 11.2 points per game. So he's not really much of a scorer, but he'll help the Pacers with passing to just help their offensive game. Alright, so that is the 8th overall pick, heading to the 9th overall pick, and that is Taylor Hendricks out of UCF going to the Utah Jazz. The Jazz have struggled recently. Before last year, they traded away Rudy Gobert and a lot of their best players. And, of course, Donovan Mitchell. They traded away Donovan Mitchell. Taylor Hendricks, a power forward / center, will help replace Rudy Gobert in the paint. He was second team All-AAC in the AAC All-Freshman team. So he went to UCF. He went to high school at NSU University School in Davie, Florida, but transferred to Fort Lauderdale at Calvary Christian Academy. So overall, he grew up in Fort Lauderdale and attended the 2018-2019 university team, which included Vernon Carey Jr., Scotty Barnes, Jace and Jet Howard. Successfully defended its Class 5A championship with a victory over Andrew Jackson High School, despite Carey being sidelined for the championship game. He transferred to Calvary Christian Academy after his sophomore year. He averaged 14.1 points, 9.1 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks per game while at Calvary during his junior year. As a senior, he was named the Broward County Player of the Year after averaging 15.1 points and 8.2 rebounds per game, as Calvary Christian repeated as state champions. He was rated a 4-star recruit and committed to playing college basketball for UCF over Florida, Florida State, Miami, LSU, Memphis, and Iowa State. His commitment made him the highest-ranked recruit in UCF history. He entered his freshman year at UCF as the starting power forward. He opened the year with a 23.2 steal, 3-block effort over UNC Asheville. In his college career, he played in 34 total games, starting in all of them. He averaged 34 minutes per game with a .478 field goal percentage, .394 three-point percentage, .782 free throw percentage, 7 rebounds, 1.4 assists, .9 steal, 1.7 blocks, 15.1 points per game averaged. So overall, really good pick by the Utah Jazz to help in the paint. Alright, so finally, the last of this video, I'll make this like a 2-part video. I'll link the next part 20 picks. This is pretty long video, guys. Pretty long video, 22 minutes already. But anyway, Cason Wallace coming from Kentucky, going to the Dallas Mavericks, but traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He is 19 years old, 6'4", 193 pounds, out of Kentucky. So he played 2 years for Kentucky. Well, 1 year, I think. Yeah, 1 year at Kentucky. So he attended Richardson High School in Texas. As a senior, he was the Gatorade Basketball Player of the Year. After averaging 19.9 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 6.1 assists per game. He was selected to play in the 2022 McDonald's All-American game. He was a 5-star recruit, and he committed to the University of Kentucky. So he is a guard for Kentucky, as he averaged 22 games and has played 22 games in his freshman year. His final stat line, which was just 1 season, he played in 32 games, started in all of them, averaged 32 minutes per game, had a field goal percentage of 4.46, 3-point percentage of 3.46, free throw percentage of 7.57, rebounds, so he had 3.7 rebounds per game, 4.3 assists per game, 2 steals per game, 0.5 blocks per game, and averaged 11.7 points per game. So overall, a good pick by the Thunder, and might help with their 3 points shooting a lot, because his 3-point shooting is pretty high. But anyway, yeah, Cason Wallace going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, alright, that'll be today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. And, yeah, let's go ahead and end today's video. And I will be putting out the next video as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Peace.